Hello and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be talking about inspection services for Amazon sellers. And before you ask me, should you even get inspection services? The short answer is absolutely yes. But you can also refer to a video that we already have here on the channel where Sumner talks all about the reasons why inspection services are worth it. And I'm going to leave that link in the description below as well as somewhere here on the screen. But today we're actually going to be talking about how to hire inspection services, who we recommend, what to expect, tips, everything you should know. So first, who do we recommend? We definitely recommend Top Win Inspection. And there's actually a lot of really good inspection companies out there, very comparable to Top Win. And we've tested other companies as well, but we keep coming back to Top Win. They are obviously very reliable, but they also offer services across all of these different countries and they're constantly expanding. They also offer all different types of inspections and other services, lab testing, specific inspections for Amazon FBA, and their price is very competitive as well. And as a matter of fact, you can get a discount code by using code Hobart25 and you're going to get $25 off your inspection. And as I said, their price is very competitive. A lot of us use Alibaba and we can see on the order that Alibaba offers inspection services for what it looks like very inexpensive, like $48. But we have tested that service before. And even though it was a good service, when we actually got the type of inspection that we're going to talk about soon, the price was very comparable to Top Win, which is around $200 per inspection. But it obviously depends. So I'm going to leave their link in the description below, but you can also go to topwininspection.com. And now let's talk about the types of inspections. Topwin performs all kinds of inspections and other companies as well. This video is not just about Topwin. They are just the company that we recommend. But I did get this graph from their website, all these different types of inspections. There is factory audits to see the conditions of the factory, if they are truthful to what they say when you hire them. Let's say they have 50 employees, but they only have 3. All these kind of things that they start checking, if they're all of the certification that they said that they have, if they really have. So there's all these types of factory audits, they have lab testings and all that. But today we're going to focus on product inspection services. Specifically, as you can see here, 3 types of inspection services: IPI, DPI, and PSI. So IPI stands for Initial Production Inspection, and that usually happens right at the beginning of the production of your product when less than 20% of the products have been produced. And the reason why you would want to do that inspection is because you can catch any mistakes or anything that you might want to change right at the beginning. You can check to see if they have sourced the correct materials, if they're using the correct shapes, or if the logo is placed correctly. There are definitely advantages of doing the initial production inspection. There's also the DPI, during production inspection, and that usually happens when your supplier has produced between 20 and 60% of your products. And the reason why is because there's still time for any corrective action. You can see more of the process. For example, if they've already started to package some of the products, you can see how it's going and change anything if something is not up to your standards. And lastly, there is the PSI, pre-shipment inspection, when at least 80% of your products are ready and packaged. That way you can see not only the state of your product, but also the packaging requirements, if they have done the shipping labels, the shipping marks, everything that would be ready to go to Amazon. So what I would recommend is that you at least get your PSI, pre-shipment inspection, for every single order. Trust me, as we talked about in the video before that I mentioned, and it's linked in the description, we've heard of cases where people just went through a few inspections with their suppliers and then just trusted they're going to continue to uphold the quality, and then the quality really lowered and they suffer consequences from that. So we always account for shipment inspection for every single one of our orders. But I would also recommend that if this is your first order of your supplier, that you considered adding at least one of the other inspections, the initial production inspection or during production inspection. So you can really be on top of the whole process and every single detail of the production of this brand new product that you either haven't done before or you at least have not done with that supplier before. So I can't stress that enough. Highly recommend that you hire inspection services and at least the pre-shipment inspection, so there are no surprises. And a lot of people too think that they might just do the inspection themselves, for example, produce everything and then ship to your home, for example, in the US to inspect. But then what happens if you find problems with the inspection? It's going to cost you a lot more to ship it back to your supplier for them to fix it. That is, if they do accept the shipment back, if the order hasn't been completed yet, and all that. So highly recommend. And now let's go through a couple of inspection tips before I show you the whole process of hiring Topwin and what you are expected to fill out and what you can do to make this process as smooth as possible. So first, make sure your supplier agrees to a third-party inspection. The way that we do that is we actually talk to our supplier. We have them sign a purchase order agreement before we even place any orders with them. And we do have a video here on the channel talking about the POA that we have with a free template if you want. So I'm also going to link that in the description below. And we stress this before we even close any deals with them, that we reserve the rights to have a third-party inspection. Because if you do not mention this before, it can get really stressful down the road. They might not be willing to do that, and then you already pay them part of the fee, and you don't really know if you should trust them or not, even if they send you photos and videos of their own. So definitely make sure they agree. And then along those lines, also discuss with them the course of action if the inspection fails. So Topwin, when they schedule the inspection with your supplier, they will tell them that if inspection fails, they are responsible for the reinspection fees. But a lot of them just sign something or just say that they agree, or they don't even notice that has been said in the email. And then once the inspection fails, they are saying, no, we're not going to pay. So make sure that is very well discussed and agreed upon. And that's actually good for you to talk to them about before you even start production, because they're going to put even more effort to produce a very high quality product for you. So make sure you talk to them and make it very clear before you even pay them anything. Also, you're going to see that at least Topwin, but also the other inspection companies that we've used before, they will send you a product specification sheet for you to complete, where you can put as many details as you want about your product before they go and inspect the whole production, the whole mass production. So I definitely recommend that you fill out and put as much detail as you can this product inspection sheet, and we're going to go through that very soon. Also, very helpful is send an approved sample to the inspection company. So we've already talked about here on the channel as well, all about product samples. I'm also going to link that video in the description below. But one of the tips is that you should always get a final sample, including the whole package, labels, everything, right before you start producing your products. And you should get at least 3, and that is one of our tips. One of them is for you to keep. The other one is for you to maybe use it for photos, and the third one is for you to send to the inspection company, so they have something that they can compare to when they're inspecting the production. And you might be thinking, why? Like, the sample is coming from the same supplier. Like, what difference does it make if I send them one of their samples to what they're going to see later on? But one of the reasons why we recommend inspection services is because when you're mass producing something, the quality of every single unit can easily lower, and there's definitely details that might be missed. For example, if you're making like a t-shirt, they might be sending you a wonderful sample with no threads coming off or no stains or anything. But when they're producing 1,000 of them, a lot of them might actually have some defects, or the color might be a little bit off, or the logo might be misplaced. So it's absolutely useful to send to the inspection company not only an approved sample, but also as many photos and videos as you can. And as we're gonna show you very soon, not just photos and videos of your products, but also any product inserts, labels, everything that you can. Another tip is that you should definitely schedule in advance. Even though we really like Topwin and they have been very nice to us in terms of being able to schedule inspections within short notice, a couple of times it has happened that they have been completely booked and we had to wait a week or at least a few days until they could actually have an available agent to go. So as soon as you talk to your supplier and ask, okay, when will the order be completed? If they say June 1st, then you're going to say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and schedule the third-party inspection. So not only you can guarantee that day that you're going to have that inspection done and you're not wasting any time, but also puts a little bit of pressure on your supplier to actually uphold their word and not have any delays. So I would highly recommend that you schedule an inspection in advance. All right, so now let's see how you would go about booking your inspection. You can go to topwininspection.com as we mentioned before, and then on the inspection tab, just click and you can easily book an inspection here. So here you can fill out all of the information, your own information and the supplier's information, so they can get in contact with them to actually book the inspection. And as I said, if you do go with Topwin, make sure you come here and put the promo code Hobart25 and you're going to get $25 off, and then hit submit. And then Topwin is going to get in contact with you and send you a product specifications form. And this is what it's going to look like. So here's where you would add as much detail as possible about your product packaging, about possible issues that product might have, or issues that customers have complained about in the past or that you've noticed in the past, so you can make your money's worth. Because the inspection agent will do a very thorough job, even if you don't add this. But if you put anything here, any detail, for example, let's say your product has had a weird smell in the past, and if you put it here, they're going to make sure they're going to inspect the product for smell. Just add anything that you might be worried about here, and then you save this and send them, replying to the email that they sent you along with all of the photos and videos. And then they're going to be booking the inspection. They're going to go there, be sure you confirm with your supplier that they're there. And then after the inspection happens, it usually takes about two days, maybe 3 at the most. I don't think it's ever taken more than 3 days after the inspection for them to send us an inspection report and actually the results. And here's a little sample of what it would look like. So they'll send you a report of several sheets, but I'm just going to show you guys a few of them here with the overall result. And I will say that 98% of the time the results are pending, because usually there's just something that the agent wants to make sure you're aware before they just approve it completely. So most of the time it's going to be pending, and they're going to say over and over, refer to remark number 1, number 2, number 3, and I'll show you. So it might be a little bit confusing, but this is just going to be the general information, how the quantity that they have inspected, the photo that they took the day of inspection of the product or products, and the sample sizes. So for example, for us, we had 1,800 sets of a product and they have inspected 125. So if you keep going to the next pages, they're also going to be very descriptive about what is the defect that they may have encountered. Sometimes it's a minor stain, or sometimes the product just wasn't really packaged how you would expect. And then they will tell you here if it's major or minor, the total of the defects found and the result. And here it has passed because it's been under the maximum allowed. And if you want to tell them that the maximum allowed is actually 3 or 5, you can tell them too that you're just using their standard numbers that they usually do for the majority of their inspections. And we usually go with their standards because honestly, no mass productions are perfect. And as I said, 98% of the time they come back as pending. And just go through the whole report. And what I would recommend is that you take screenshots of any issues that you found, especially if they're not too big or if not many of them have been found. And what we do is that we get back to our supplier and say, these need to be corrected. Make sure you correct them. Make sure you document the correction and show it back to us, the products all fixed, so that you don't have to pay for a reinspection. So I would say that 9 out of 10 times, this is how we would go about solving any issues that the inspection agent might have found. But we have had it happen to us where the inspection has failed before, where there has been way too many issues for us to just trust that they're going to show us everything have been fixed. So we just tell them that they're going to have to reinspect and pay for the reinspection fees. But it's completely up to you. You might want to negotiate with them too that if reinspection is needed, you might split the fee or anything that you prefer. Just make sure you're very clear in your communication with the supplier. And that's it. This is what you should expect when hiring inspection services for your Amazon business. And I hope you liked this video. If you did, be sure to leave a thumbs up. Also subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video when we put it out here. Be sure to go through our videos and our playlists because we already have so much great content here in the channel. And I'll make sure to leave all of the links that I have mentioned here in this video in the description below. And if you have any comments, any questions, anything you want to share with the community, be sure to leave those in the comments below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this helpful. God bless you, and I look forward to seeing you in future videos.